Now, the big energy can only be noticed as, again, it has been proven that Biafra is the only hope for the common people. You see, we must dust our shoes and see that Biafra must be restored today, because as it continues to go, we must communicate in the right order to see the reproduction of the biggest phases of what we pursue. So, as we continue to push every circle of reference and every victory that is seen around, we must understand that there are ways of doing things, and that is to put ourselves in that very path where each and every one of us must continue to push forward. So, if we continue to highlighting ourselves, we may never get along in every way and in anything we are doing. So, but one of the most important thing that we must put in line is that we must continue to communicate in a very right order and make more efforts to see that Biafra has become the only point of view. Now, concerning what happened yesterday and what has continued to happen in Nigeria, show to prove again and again that Nigeria is not for us. We are raising greater men, stronger men that will join in the things that we are doing. And one of the important things here is the ability to keep pushing forward. Yes. The ability to keep pushing forward. Because that is the only point of view. That is the only minute and that is the only moment we will continue to push ahead. So, with every large extent, let's continue to communicate the viewpoint and see that we don't allow ourselves to be bullied and put in one circle. The restoration must happen. The victory must happen. So just look around you and see what is already happening in Africa. See around you what is already happening in Nigeria. You will know that if we don't restore this nation now, a lot will go wrong with the Igbo people. Are we looking for help? Are the international bodies coming to help us? Is there ever a time that we'll wake up and peace will reign? That's just the question. Is there ever a time we all are going to wake up and we'll see peace? So it's left for us to ask ourselves this very important question. The more we are done asking ourselves, we can have a lot to say. One of the biggest victories that is going to happen is the demanding and internal force that we all pursue. So as it is now, everything must get engaged. Everything and every hand must get engaged. Expansion. You see, there's so many corruption going in Africa that you don't need to come and fight for anybody or be the voice of the people. What Nnamdi Kanu did is right, because over 95% of Biafrans, Igbos want to go. They want to go. He's not fighting for Nigeria, because the moment you come out to fight for Nigeria, Nigeria will consume you. Those we are fighting for will come and, lock your head and make a mess of you. And that's just the truth. So, The only reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today is because he's fighting the right cause, which is Biafra. That is why he's still alive today. I don't mean he went ahead to fight for Nigeria, that you know that these people prefer death than life. Would have been making a very serious mistake. Very big one. And that's where the whole story will start. So, the moment we bring a larger expansion, things must be put in order to make sure that life on its own is not thrown aboard. And that's where the story lies. Life is not thrown aboard. So, communicating in a great sense and making ourselves more noticeable, we should immediately understand that victory belongs to the people, and eventually we must not ever be put behind bars and allow ourselves to be thrown offset. So, whatever that is made must be made in accordance. And that is why, now that Nnamdi Kanu is in cell, we must do everything possible to engage ourselves theoretically, strongly, and the wave affairs. That's where the whole situation is. We must not allow ourselves to put in mind and force ourselves in any way to be discriminated. So now that Nnamdi Kanu is in cell, let's rise up and do the needful.